Hi, it's Gwen from Hummingbird Tarot, and this is a video response to Ethany's 31 Days of Tarot. Today's prompt is the top 5 tarot decks of the last decade. And I realized when I was going through my decks and I came to my top 5, which was surprisingly easy for me, that I am really attracted to decks that tell a good story. And they don't always have the best art, although some of these have some rockin' art in them, but they do a great job getting their point across and letting you know exactly what it is that you need to know. And these decks are the ones that I used the most in the past decade. And some of them are recent favorites that have stuck around for a significant part of the last decade, or maybe just the end of it, but they've been used so much that they get to be included in this. So the first deck is the Radiant Rider-Waite, and I'm just, I'm a traditional kind of girl. That's what the backs look like, and I probably use this deck more than any others. I really like how bold the colors are in this deck, and they're very vibrant, which of course is why it's called the Radiant Rider-Waite. I find it really easy on the eyes and easy to pick out the detail that I'm looking for. So that was my favorite and probably my most used deck. But I used some others quite a bit as well. So this one's probably not a surprise if you watched my other videos, but this one is the Everyday Witch. And this one, it's just a great storyteller. There's no doubt about the point that this deck is trying to make. And you can see there's such feeling. Look at her smirk. I love this card. In each of these cards. That one does a great job telling a story. This one's probably not a surprise either. This is the Book of Shadows. This deck is actually, that one's by Barbara Moore. It's a very modern, I'm not a super huge fan of the art, not drawn to the art, but what I am really drawn to is the message and how easy it is to find out exactly what it is that this deck is trying to tell me. And this deck right here, I shared this information before. This is the first deck that I had that I really felt like was my soulmate. Look at that Devil card. It's all about temptation. Talked about this deck before too. This is the Anna K Tarot. And this one is so expressive. Look at those pentacles buried in the ground. This last deck I haven't talked about yet in any of my videos, but I'm sure it's one that many of you are familiar with, and that is the Druidcraft. That one's by Philip and Stephanie Hargrom, and it's illustrated by Will Worthington. And this one, I've actually edged this deck, and I colored the sides of those as well. It was much bigger, and so my small hands couldn't handle it, but the art in this one is stunning, and it's very expressive. And sometimes you only get one or the other in tarot. You get a deck that's amazing, but the art is a little flat. You don't feel anything when you look at it, or you feel something spectacular, but the art isn't that great. And I feel like the Anna K Tarot on that one, I feel like the art isn't that great, and I'm not super drawn to the art, but there's no doubt when I'm looking at those images about what message they're trying to convey. Same with the So Below deck. I'm not super drawn to that style of art, but it did a great job telling a story. This one does both. Thanks for watching, everyone. I look forward to seeing what decks you used the most in the last decade.